Get southbound on 395. Callers who are able to use the HOV lanes heading south tell us the line forms on the main line before the Pentagon and breaks away only after passing Edsa Road. Now, there was one stopped in the roadway, rescued by the Virginia Highway Help Truck, but apparently the uneven pavement remains, both the bump and the breakaway before the Beltway, and then southbound over the Occoquan after Dale City, past the express lane merge, more like routine volume. On the inner loop of the Beltway, westbound Alexandria past Telegraph and Eisenhower, sunshine a factor, perhaps the rubbernecking for the crash on the outer loop near Eisenhower and Telegraph, but off on the left side. In Alexandria, Old Town southbound on Washington Street before the Beltway at Church Street. The accident scene was blocking the right lane of 2. Maryland, I-95, southbound between 100 and 175. The crash off on the shoulder on the median strip, there to be seen. New crash on the northbound side of I-95, just after the exit to go east on Route 32, and with the rescue response blocking 2 right lanes out of 4. The Bohank Lexus tire event is going on right now. Save $100 instantly with the purchase of 4 tires. Call 703-502-3730. Online at BohankAlexisChantilly.com. And Bob Marber, WTOP Traffic.
Just no way to put it. It's a gentle October evening.
Yes, late October temperature. Our average high today is 65, and we were 80 or in the lower 80s in many areas. So what a great day. Still a beautiful evening out there with temperatures hanging tough in the 70s. A couple spots still around 80, but we will cool down later tonight to the mid-50s to around 60 by morning with partly cloudy skies. We'll notice increasing cloudiness through the day. Tomorrow it'll be breezy. We'll hit the upper 60s. Good chance of showers developing midday through the afternoon. Should clear out quickly tomorrow night behind the cold front, giving us a partly cloudy, breezy day on Thursday, near 60 degrees. Partly sunny, upper 50s Friday, but a much stronger cold front Friday night will bring clouds, gusty winds, and showers. We'll have a chance of showers overnight through Saturday morning, and then Saturday afternoon through Sunday, it will become windy and much colder. High temperatures Saturday and Sunday across most of our listing area will hold in the 40s for highs. 78 right now in Landover and Burtonsville, 80 degrees in Stafford, and 77 in Annandale, and outside the Glass Enclosed Nerve Center.
All right, Doug, thanks. 541 here on WTOP. We are 1 week away from midterm elections. Democrats are struggling to hang on to the majority in the Senate and also hang on to some governor seats. There is one issue, though, that the Democrats are winning with.
Tim Noah joins us now. He's the labor employment editor for Politico. Hiya, Tim.
Hello.
So, what are Democrats focusing on that appears to be giving them an edge?
The minimum wage. If there's nothing else seems to be working for them, and they, are not having a great midterm season. But the one issue that is working is minimum wage. They're inflicting pain in a number of races, causing some Republicans to back off their former opposition to minimum wage increases at either the state or the federal level. And those Republican candidates that are not willing to back off on their stands, several of them are having a pretty tight race.
Explain how the Republicans who are opposing this, how are they framing the issue?
Well, there's a variety of ways. I mean, some of them say, look, it's a federal issue, we shouldn't deal with it at the state level because then adjoining states will have lower minimum wages, and as a consequence, fast food joints across the state line will be cheaper, and our fast food joints will lose customers. That's one argument. Another argument is just the federalist argument, which is the opposite, which is that the federal government shouldn't be setting the minimum wage. That should be entirely a state matter. Some folks should think there shouldn't be a minimum wage at all. For example, that's what Scott Walker said in Wisconsin, and now he finds himself in a very tight race against Mary Burke. They've just kind of muddied their position on the minimum wage to such an extent that they're opponents are able to make them sound as if they are prevaricating, and that's the case with Pat Quinn versus Bruce Rauner in the Illinois gubernatorial race.
Tim, it's interesting because in a number of polls, Americans tend to trust Democrats more with the economy and job issue stuff. Could this minimum wage thing be what really helps Democrats in tough races?
I think it's just about the only thing that's helping Democrats in tough races. And, most places, it won't make a difference. But, in a number of places, it has great potential to. It has potential to affect the governor's race in Illinois, as I said. It could affect a couple of races in Arkansas, the governor's race and the Senate race there. In Iowa and North Carolina, those Senate races, again, the minimum wage could affect the outcome. It might even conceivably affect the much-discussed Senate race in Kentucky, where Mitch McConnell is up against Allison Grimes. That's a longer shot because voters seem to be less motivated about the minimum wage in Kentucky than they are in some of these other states.
All right, Tim, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks.
Tim.
The crash was moved to the left shoulder. Interloop was slowed for the Sunshine, Alexandria, southbound on Washington Street before the Beltway at Church. Callers tell us the crash has been completely cleared. Remember, Metropolitan Bath and Tile for all of your bathroom remodeling needs. Call 800-NEW-BATH. Log on to metrobath.com. Bathroom remodeling. It is what they do. It is all they do. I'm Bob Marker, WTOP Traffic.
A real feel of late summer out there during the daylight hours with temperatures in some areas topping 80 degrees. Well, as we head through this evening here, we'll start to cool down through the 70s and eventually wind up in the mid-50s to near 60 by morning with partly cloudy skies. It'll become cloudy and breezy tomorrow, highs in the upper 60s. It'll be mild. 40% chance of showers developing with a cold front, partly cloudy, breezy, near 60 on Thursday. Friday, upper 50s with partly sunny skies, but a much stronger cold front approaches late in the day Friday with clouds and probably some showers for Friday night into Saturday morning. From the ABC 7 Weather Center, I'm Doug Hill.
Enjoy our warmth now. 75 at Reagan National, 78 at Bella, 77 at BWI Marshall, 82 in Fredericksburg, 77 here in Northwest D.C.
It's 5:50 and there's a breaking Amber Alert for 2 children from Maryland. Police need your help. Anne Arundel County Police are looking for a green or gray Honda CR-V with the license plate 4AW5518. Police say 27-year-old Tia Marie Valenzuela drove off with her 2 children about 3 this afternoon from a home not far from Chapel Elementary School. Police they say she had just had an argument with her boyfriend. She apparently told him she planned to drive off the Delaware Memorial Bridge. Again, police trying to find 2-year-old Gabriano Lloyd and 1-year-old Gia Lloyd. Police need to hear from you if you see a 2009 Honda CR-V, greenish gray, license plate 4AW5518. That's Maryland plate 4AW5518.
5:52. It can seem hard, but there are ways to pick healthier food at the grocery store.
Is one pack of crackers healthier than another? And which soup contains fewer additives? These questions can be answered with Food Scores, a database and mobile app from the Environmental Working Group.
It rates 80,000 products according to 3 different criteria,
such as added sugars, synthetic dyes, and saturated fats. Each food is scored from 1 to 10, 1 being the best and 10 the worst.
It's a sense that more and more Americans are concerned about what might be in their food when they buy it at the supermarket.
Says Ken Cook, president and co-founder of Environmental Working Group.
We can't really trust food companies to let us know exactly what's in food or to communicate that.
Rachel Nania, WTOP News.
It is 5:52. Former Panama dictator Manuel Noriega's lawsuit over a video game has been thrown out. A judge in LA says Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is a complex game that relied very little on Noriega. Noriega is shown in the 2012 game as a murderer and enemy of the state. He claims Activision used his likeness without his permission. The video game company's lawyers include former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani. They successfully argued using Noriega's name and likeness in the game was protected by the First Amendment.
Machines may take over the world. Tesla and SpaceX founder Elon Musk is raising concerns about leaps forward in artificial intelligence. Musk says governments should be regulating artificial intelligence projects or risk, as he puts it, summoning the demon.
Well, it is time for leaving for the Allman Brothers. The band is hanging it up after 45 years of great Southern rock. After one final concert tonight at the Beacon Theater in Manhattan, Greg Allman says he'll keep rocking with his own group in the coming years.
Good day on Wall Street. That's next, 5:53.
Are you having a hard time solving your tax problems? Hi, I'm Dan Roosevelt, an attorney and CPA with Frieda Roosevelt. You may be surprised to learn that some tax debts can be eliminated in bankruptcy. Frieda Roosevelt attorneys have helped clients discharge millions of dollars of taxes in bankruptcy. We may be able to help you too. Know all your legal options. Call me today, start sleeping again tonight. 301-656-4424. 301-656-4424. Or online at freedlaw.com. FRIEDLAW.com.
Not the kind of person who wants to sit around an office all day? Wish you could spend all your time behind the wheel of your dependable car doing contract work and getting paid for it? Dynamics is searching for full and part-time drivers for the greater Washington, D.C. area now. Master ICs with multiple drivers are also welcome. Earn excellent money. Call Dynamics today for more info at 703-720-4842. That's 703-720-4842.
Are you looking for a new beginning? Want to make more money? Consider owning your own business. It's easier than you think. Come to the Capital Franchise Expo this Saturday and Sunday at the Dulles Expo Center. Discover full and part-time business opportunities and talk with owners of money-making franchises who can help you open a successful business. Remember, many franchises are more affordable than you think. Take the first step to success and financial independence at the Franchise Expo. This weekend only. Visit CapitalFranchiseExpo.com.
Mattress discounters. If you buy your mattress anywhere else, you'll pay too much. Mattress discounters.
Money News is brought to you by United Bank, the community bank of the nation's capital.
Jeff Claybos at the Washington Business Journal.
Nice Tuesday rally pushes the Dow back above 17,000 by a few points. It gained 188 points. The S&P 500 index up 23. Those were 1% rallies. The Nasdaq up 78. That was 1 3/4%. Facebook reported after the close. Revenue from advertising up 64% from a year ago. Its forecast for spending plans has sent Facebook stock sharply lower after hours. A big crosstown contractor merger in Chantilly, Agility, will acquire fellow government services contractor Task in a $1 billion deal that'll create a $2.5 billion a year contractor. The historic Georgetown Post Office is the new home for a software company, East Bank Technologies, leasing most of it. The small post office still occupies part of the first floor of the 156-year-old building. From the Washington Business Journal, I'm Jeff Claiborne on WTOP.
Thank you, Jeff. 5:56.
The WTOP newsroom is wired by Michael & Son. Electrical, plumbing, and heating. Turn to the experts at Carrier and trust the family of Michael & Son to keep your family warm and comfortable this winter. Get a precision furnace tune-up for only $49 by calling 800-948-MIKE.
Most of us have a to-do list, but when you have chronic joint pain, you also have a don't-do list. As in, don't go for a walk, don't play golf, don't lift up your grandchildren. At Innova, we say don't put off an orthopedic assessment. Instead, return to doing the things you love. Bad joints don't always require replacement, so Innova offers a wide range of services, from in- or outpatient rehab to minimally invasive and arthroscopic procedures to cartilage transplants. And our sports medicine program helps athletes of all ages get moving again. But if full or partial replacement is your best option, Innova's Joint Replacement Center is nationally ranked. Some joint replacements don't even require an overnight stay. Let us customize a treatment plan just for you. Visit innova.org/jointhealth or call 855-MY-INNOVA to learn more. Innova, join the future of health.
Last year's skiing was amazing. Ready to do it again? Enjoy unlimited snow days with a season pass for Round Top Mountain Resort, Liberty Mountain Resort, and Whitetail Resort. Months and months of skiing and snowboarding. Plus, you can bypass the ticket windows and hit the slopes faster. All for just $459. Additional family members, $359. But don't wait until the first snow to buy your season pass. Preseason rates end October 31st. Sign up online at takeasnowday.com.
Bob Marburg in the traffic center.
College Park, 193 east before US Route 1. A crash in the curve blocking the left lane. 95 southbound delays from 195 past 100. The crash on the shoulder left. Northbound, just after the first exit for 32, the crash on the shoulder right. 395, delays extend from before the Pentagon to the transition onto the milled pavement before Springfield, but then to the Beltway and the Occoquan and points past the express lane merge, routine volume with the lanes open. The WTOP Traffic Center is driven by Fitzgerald Hyundai, Rockville, and Gaithersburg. I'm Bob Marburg, WTOP Traffic.
Partly cloudy skies through the evening. Temperatures eventually settling through the 50s to near 60 degrees tonight. Mainly cloudy, breezy, upper 60s tomorrow with a good chance of scattered showers with a cold front. Partly cloudy, breezy, near 60 on Thursday. Partly sunny, upper 50s Friday, but a much stronger cold front Friday night. Gusty winds and rain showers. From the ABC 7 Weather Center, I'm Doug Hill.
77 degrees with high clouds.
It's 5:59.
This is WTOP, Washington's top news. WTOP-FM Washington, WWWT-FM Manassas, WTLP-FM Braddock Heights Frederick, and online at WTOP.com. This hour of news brought to you by Boeing.
Good evening, I'm Hillary Howard.
I'm Sean Anderson. Coming up,
An Amber Alert police asking you to help find 2 young kids who've gone missing.
beefing up security at local federal offices.
Missed a toll on the 495 express lanes. Now there are new rules and lower fees. I'm Jamie Forzado.
A dangerous waiting game for American women. I'm Paula Wolfson.
Dow closed up 188, NASDAQ up 78, S&P 23.
And Giants in Kansas City in the World Series.
CBS News. I'm Hartley Carnes. We do have breaking news. Homeland Security is ordering increased security at government buildings in D.C. and other cities. Let's go live now to Washington for the very latest. CBS's Dan Raviv.
Harley, the Secretary of Homeland Security, Jay Johnson, calls this a precautionary step for reasons that are self-evident. Terrorist groups overseas are calling for attacks on police and government officials. He mentions 2 fatal attacks on soldiers in Canada last week and one in New York City, the hatchet attack on police officers. The precise actions being taken here in the nation's capital and in other cities will not be announced. Johnson urges local authorities to be equally vigilant. CBS News has learned there is no specific credible threat here in the U.S. Live in Washington, Dan Raviv, CBS News.
President Obama plans to meet some of the healthcare workers back from West Africa tomorrow, saying they go there to do God's work.
We don't want to do things that aren't based on science and best practices. Because if we do, then we're just putting another barrier on somebody who's already doing really important work on our behalf.
Nurse Amber Vinson was released from Emory University Medical today, declared Ebola-free. Another healthcare worker back home in Vermont from West Africa has no symptoms but has secluded himself in his own home for monitoring. America's opinion of the administration's handling of the arrival of Ebola in the U.S. is a virtual toss-up in the latest CBS News poll. 47% approve of the president's handling, 41% disapprove. How do people rate the CDC? CBS News survey manager Jennifer DePinto.
Americans give the CDC negative ratings on its handling of the Ebola threat. 57% say the agency has done only a fair or poor job, while 40% say they have done an excellent or good job.
A river of slow-moving volcanic lava is crawling at less than 10 feet an hour into the town of Paloa on the Big Island of Hawaii. KGMB-TV reporter Meleka Lincoln.
Made contact with the very first structure and did ignite it. The structure that is on fire and cold is a shed. It's not a home. The nearest home, though, is estimated to be about 30 yards away.
People in 40 homes have been evacuating in the face of a very slow-motion natural disaster. Why did a commuter train leave the tracks at 70 miles an hour last December in New York, killing 4 people and leaving 70 hurt?
We determined that the cause of this tragic accident was the engineer's non-compliance with the 30-mile-per-hour speed restriction because he had fallen asleep.
Acting NTSB Chairman Christopher Hart. Wall Street, the Dow up 187 points today. The NASDAQ gained 78. There are robots fetching supplies for buyers at a Lowe's hardware store in San Jose, California. There are tall white columns with 3D cameras so they can find items and sensors to help them move around in the warehouse on wheels. Kyle Nell at Lowe's Innovation Lab says they're making a science fiction story a reality. This is CBS News.
With Pepco's My Account, you have access to online energy management tools that can help you save energy. Through My Account, you'll find charts and graphs to provide your customized energy use. You'll see how and when you're using energy, your current bill total at any time during the month, and personalized tips to help you lower your monthly bill. Start using My Account today. Visit Pepco.com or call us at 1-855-NEW-METER to learn more. Pepco, energy for a changing world.
This is Rick Del Santro, CEO of Zippy Shell Self-Storage and Moving. The fall is here and change is upon us. Zippy Shell wants you to know that when changes in your life require storage and moving, we are the area's best solution. At Zippy Shell, we understand that moving and storage isn't always fun, but our goal is to provide solutions that simplify your life. So if you have a need for storage, or if you're moving anywhere in our great country, make Zippy Shell your first call. Remember, storage and moving don't have to be difficult. Visit zippyshell.com and we'll do the rest.
Well, hello. It's 6:04 on a lovely Tuesday evening, October the 28th. 77 degrees down to the 50s and 60s.
Live from the Glass Enclosed Nerve Center, this is Washington's top news. 103.5 FM and WTOP.com. Here are Sean Anderson and Hillary Howard.
Good evening. 2 kids are missing from the Odenton area, and now Maryland State Police have issued an Amber Alert tonight. WTOP's Megan Clardy has details.
Police want you to look for this vehicle, a 2009 Honda CR-V, possibly green or gray in color, with Maryland plates 4AW5518. Police were called to Vacation Drive in Odenton by Tia Marie Valenzuela's boyfriend. After the two got in an argument, he says Valenzuela said she was driving to the Delaware Bridge to drive off the bridge with the children, 2-year-old Gabriano and 1-year-old Gia. Again, police believe they are in a 2009 Honda CR-V, possibly green or gray, with Maryland plates 4AW5518. Valenzuela is described as a 5'2" Hispanic woman with black hair, wearing a black shirt with a Nike symbol. If you see the car or Valenzuela, call 911. Megan Clardy, WTOP News.
It's 6:05. Security is tightening up around here. The Federal Protective Service says it's enhancing its presence and security at various government buildings around D.C. and other cities. The service says it is not being more specific about its plans, and it says the reasons are self-evident: the continued public calls by terrorist groups for attacks on the homeland and elsewhere.
6:05. It can be expensive to travel on the Beltway Express lanes, and WTOP's Ticket Buster reported on some Easy Pass drivers who racked up huge fines. Now the operator of the lanes is putting a limit on those fees.
Under the new first-time forgiveness program, drivers who don't have enough money in their Easy Pass account get dinged and settle up within 60 days are only on the hook for the tolls, not the fees. Earlier this year, Tony Cooley told WTOP she was charged more than $10,000 in penalties.
Since the ethics of it is the morality of it, it's just wrong.
Transurban spokesperson Pierce Coffey says if a first-timer's case goes to court,
with the new program in place, we will not be seeking more than $2,200 on any first-time violator, no matter what.
Repeat offenders will be fined according to Virginia law, which is $1,000 for a 4th violation and everyone after. Jamie Forsato, WTOP News.
Over the noisy horn-honking protests of D.C. cab drivers who say they'll now face unfair competition, the D.C. Council passed the bill regulating Uber, Lyft, and other ride-sharing companies.
Their horns blared and the cabbies shouted for justice, insisting that the smartphone app ride-share companies will have easier regulations than taxi cabs. Veteran cabbie Eartha Clark.
Because of the restrictions on cab drivers, it has taken away our money and fares. We are not being treated fairly.
But inside council chambers, the vote wasn't even close.
Mr. Chairman, there are 12 yeses and 1 no.
The measure passes. The bill essentially welcomes the ride-share companies to the streets of D.C., imposing regulations including vehicle inspections and driver background checks. At the Wilson Building, Dick Iuliano, WTOP News.
Coming up on WTOP, big changes in our weather in the next day or two. We'll talk to Doug Hill on that. 6:07.
This hour of news is brought to you by Boeing, delivering the enduring capability and value of the P-8A Maritime Patrol aircraft to the United States Navy, on time and on budget.
This Pharma News Minute is provided by America's biopharmaceutical companies.
I think it's very important that every patient be given the chance to survive longer.
Innovative cancer medicines have helped CJ from Annapolis, Maryland, live for 8 years with metastatic breast cancer. The average survival after diagnosis with the disease is 2 to 3 years.
Nobody really expected me to live very long. But now it's 8 years later. I'm still here. I'm doing extremely well. I have lots of energy. I feel like I have virtually my full health, and I'm very, very grateful for that.
Biopharmaceutical innovation and new drug discovery is helping more and more cancer patients outlive their diagnoses, leading to longer and more productive lives. With 73 medicines currently in development for breast cancer, America's biopharmaceutical companies believe today's hope is tomorrow's cure. You can learn more at FromHopeToCures.org.
6:08.
Traffic and weather on the 8s and when it breaks.
On 395 southbound between the Pentagon and Shirlington, Landmark and the Beltway remains heavy and slow. One broken down car cleared by the help truck about an hour ago. It appears that the transition onto the milled pavement is still an issue. Bumping your way southbound on 395. Ahead, new problem. Southbound beyond the Occoquan from Dale City past the express lane merge. Now, rescue arrives with the crash near exit 150 along the right side of I-95 southbound. 66, Roslyn Falls Church toward Manassas and Haymarket. The sunshine was a factor. No recent wrecks along the way. The lanes open. Across the American Legion Bridge from 270 toward Tyson's Corner. Along the way, before River Road, a crash on the left side. After Route 7, a crash on the right side. Each adds to the distraction. The inner loop slows to the toll road to cross back into Maryland heading home. 270 toward Frederick. No issues pending. 95 in the BW Parkway on the interstate. Northbound after the first exit for 32. The crash had been cleared to the right side. Southbound I-95 between 100 and 175. The crash on the median strip was awaiting a tow, but with the travel lanes open. College Park, University Boulevard, 193 East, just before US Route 1. The crash in the left lane awaiting help. The seasons may be changing, but one thing will never change, and that's the great prices and selection of vehicles at darkcars.com. They have what you need at a price that you love at Dark Cars. I'm Bob Martin, WTOP Traffic.
Let's go to Doug Hill at ABC7. Doug, we've had such fine fall weather here the past few days. It's going to be more, I guess, seasonal here in the days ahead, right?
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, Sean. I mean, temperatures so far above average today. Our average high is 65. We were around 80 in many areas today. Tomorrow in the upper 60s, then 50s, and over the weekend only highs in the 40s, so it'll become unseasonably chilly. Tonight, pretty pleasant. Still in the 70s in most spots. We'll drop into the 50s to near 60 by morning. Tomorrow, increasing cloudiness, become a bit breezy. We'll climb through the upper 60s. Midday and afternoon showers with the first cold front likely, clearing late tomorrow afternoon or evening. Thursday looks nice, cooler. High temperatures on Thursday, right near 60 with partly cloudy and breezy conditions. Friday, partly sunny, a bit cooler upper 50s. But then the strong cold front arrives Friday night with gusty winds and showers and falling temperatures. We're hoping the showers will hold off until after the kids are back home from trick-or-treating. Can't guarantee that. We'll track that as it approaches.